Ain't No Half Steppin' with Marcus J. live from the Den. Legacy Internet Radio. Thank y'all to everybody who has been rocking with us tonight. We appreciate those folks that are listening to us right now on TuneIn. We appreciate those folks who hit up our website, www.legacyinternetradio. Special thank you, special thank you to our sister Lyric, our featured guest of the night. She's our singer. She's our songwriter. She is from Tappahannock, Virginia, and you just heard a couple of her tracks. You just heard My Way, her new single that comes out on the EP that is set to drop next month here in RVA and beyond. And of course, you heard the track It's Alright, which is real dope. So definitely glad to have our sister Lyric in the building with us. 804-402-2893. That's the number to dial if you want to talk to Lyric, if you want to talk to anybody else in the room, if you hear something that you think is real dope and you want to comment on, or if you think we all crazy as hell and how dare we said that, you can call us at 804-402-2893 to tell us to our ears, because you can't tell us to our face because you ain't here. Be down with us, 804-402-2893. Y'all rocking with us. We rolling with y'all. We appreciate it. So here's what I want to do, y'all. With your permission, and since it's just us, because ain't nobody listening to us, it's just us, y'all. We're going to talk about Super Tuesday tomorrow. Super Tuesday is the day that a whole bunch of states here in the United States of America go to the polls to select who they feel should be one of the candidates, front-running candidates, to be the next president of the United States, number 45, to succeed President Barack Hussein Obama. So what I want to do is I want to reestablish the crew here. Everybody, you got a mic in your hand. Just kind of a roll call. Mr. 3375, you in the building?
I'm in the building.
Mr. Big Rube, you in the building?
Yo.
Our sister Lyric, you in the building?
Yo.
Our sister Ashley, you here?
Yes, I am.
All right, our sister Evandra, you here?
In the building.
Introducing, joining us on the airwaves of Ain't No Half Steppin' with Marcus J. I appreciate this brother for being here. I appreciate his wisdom and his guidance. He's also my brother. He's another one of my partners and one of my best friends in the world. And I like to say really nice stuff about him because I know it makes him uncomfortable. I got my brother Jay Grizzly Green up in this joint. What's up, comic?
What's up, brother?
What's up, one of the funniest dudes on the planet, only person I know that's funnier than me.
I retired from the funny, I think.
Nah, man.
Tonight is nothing funny about tonight, though.
All right. Well,
nothing gonna be funny about the next couple months.
Well, I'm gonna hold you to that because I know how you do sometimes. You like just now something happened and we ain't got to tell listeners,
right.
But I saw your wheels turning.
right. You know what it is.
Yeah, I saw your wheels turning.
You know what it is, but I'm excited, of course. Thank you for coming, having me here. Ain't No Half Steppin'. It's always great to be in the Den.
You got it. All right. Ain't No Half Steppin' with Marcus J. live from the Den, Legacy Internet Radio. Our sister Evandra, I want to kind of come to you first on Super Tuesday, which is tomorrow. You got a bunch of states, including us here in Virginia, going to the polls. What does Super Tuesday mean to you, sister?
Super Tuesday is probably one of the most important days of probably my entire lifetime, this particular Super Tuesday. So it's a lot at stake, but there's a lot of people that are not paying attention. So it's just going to make me sad after the results roll in and I see all the slave states voted in the wrong direction.
Now there's a lot to that. I'm gonna definitely make you. I'm definitely gonna have you kind of explain what you mean by that. But shout out to our brother K Dub. Our brother K Dub is listening to us down in the ATL. K Dub says he's definitely voting. He know it can be a circus. And he's going to be huge. He's saying that in his Trump voice, and I think he says that with his tongue firmly in his cheek. Shout out to our brother Hakeem. He's still listening to us. Hakeem is shouting you out, Lyric. Hakeem says that he was enjoying My Way and It's Alright. He said them tracks is dope. He also says that they sound way better than a lot of the crap that he hears on the radio right now. And so he's
just like Hawk, always keeping
he keeping fresh. It 100. He and that's all the way from New Jersey. So I appreciate K Dub and ATL and Hakeem in New Jersey listening to us. Evandra, Coming back to you, you said that the slave states. What are the slaves? When you say that, I mean, I guess I can guess. But talk to me like I'm a 5-year-old. What do you mean when you say that?
The southern states, the Confederate states, the slave states. So, yeah, Virginia, Alabama, Georgia. That's tomorrow. Tennessee.
Right. Well,
And I'm pretty certainly sure that those states are going to all vote for Hillary Clinton.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you say
How do
that.
you know that?
Well, I'm going to challenge you on that one because when you say you're sure they're going to vote for Hillary Clinton, I'll be honest with you. That's not where I thought you were going to go.
Neither.
I thought you were going to say those people were going to vote for Donald J. Trump. So
Nope.
why do you think they would vote for Hillary Rodham Clinton over Donald J. Trump?
Well, I mean, it's a dual primary, so you're going to have, what's going to happen is you're going to get probably Trump. If Trump and Clinton comes out of with all the slave states, that tells you how polarized we are in this country.
Right.
And it's a true check of where we are and where we've progressed. And that should let you know they're the same two people speaking the exact same thing in two different ways.
Right.
They're both oppressors. They both have used their privilege to get to where they are.
Right.
And they're not concerned with anybody that's not making as much money as they are.
Right.
It's just what it is. And people in the slave states just aren't paying attention, and they're paying for their own genocide. That's just how I feel about it.
No, I got you. And I asked that with Marcus J. You know, who would be better than Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump? And I'm not saying that in a way that I don't want anybody listening to me right now to think that I'm asking that question because I think that one of them is good. I'm asking that question kind of rhetorically. You know what I mean? Like who would be better? Because right now we've got Hillary Clinton, we've got Bernie Sanders, we've got John Kasich, we've got Donald J. Trump, we've got Marco Rubio, we've got Ben Carson, and we've got Rafael Cruz. I'm not calling him Ted. He will be called Raphael on the show. Just like I called Mitt Romney Willard, we're going to call him by what his mama called him. So who would be better than the names that you gave, Donald J. Trump and Hillary Rodham Clinton?
It's not that there's someone that would be better. It's just where your loyalties lie. And when you're talking about affecting change with marginalized people, predominantly black people, when your loyalties lie with the big money and those that are against our interests, it just doesn't make me feel comfortable as you being my president. Bernie Sanders, on the other hand, who I do support, he is totally against big money. He doesn't want it in politics. He doesn't want politicians choosing who they want to represent. And I think that at a surface level, if we want to go to a different place in this country and move forward, we have to have people that are not invested in the systems that oppress us.
Right. Now, what do you say to those folks who look at Bernie Sanders and call him a socialist?
He's not the first one. FDR was.
You know what's funny that you bring up FDR? Because they've got a law that was created because of FDR, and that law is called term limits. You can't be a president more than 2 terms because he was a 4-term president because he was a socialist and people didn't want him to be, well, let me rephrase that. The capitalists didn't want him.
Let's put it in perspective, though, with FDR. He came about when the country was in a depression.
Absolutely.
So, you know, back in 29 when the market crashed and all, you know, everybody knows the depression if you're, you know, living on the planet. You know, the country needed economic stimulus internally for us to be able to get back the prominence that we were right after World War I. My issue with the whole socialist label on Sanders or anybody that's left-leaning is that she's correct. I mean, there's been a lot of socialist. There was an actual socialist party in America in the earliest part of the 20th century. Some of them were Nazis. There was a Nazi party as well. But I don't think Bernie is that far off. You know, he's not that far left that where he's out there talking about things that are so extreme that would turn people off. I honestly think these labels of socialist, conservative, left wing, right wing, they're all to, put us in that category, so to speak. You think for yourself in this election. I mean, I hope, think for yourself, think what's best for you and your family, think what's best for the next generation that's coming about, and you make that decision however you do.
To this gentleman's point, to both of their point, as far as Chris and to my lady here, it pains me when people say that they don't want to deal with socialists and they don't want to vote in elect a socialist president. But when your house is on fire, you call a fire department, which is based on socialist values, or you go to a free clinic, or you only want to be a socialist when it benefits you, but when it's there to benefit other people, now all of a sudden you have a problem. And so I agree with what both of these people are saying. I do agree, again, with what my sister was saying here about Hillary. I would form a movement like how Black Lives Matter. I feel like Hillary don't matter. And I will form a movement for that because I think she most definitely is the member of the 666 party. But
wow. That's
with
big.
that being said, I will say one thing, and I'm sure everybody's going to have a problem. Super Tuesday, I have no problem with saying I'll vote for Bernie Sanders. But because of, my ancestors in fighting how we couldn't vote, now we can vote. If it comes down to Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton, I'm voting for Donald Trump.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
And I am able to back it up. I most definitely am able to back it up.
I definitely want to make
Yeah,
sure.
we definitely
we got to explore that.
Let me, because
I'm not saying that I disagree with you, but we definitely need to
I
explore
disagree.
that.
Let me throw this out here. For the record, Jay Grizzly does not endorse any candidate so far in the race. I mean, honestly, all politicians, including Bernie, because before Bernie was a senator, he was a congressman for Vermont. And Vermont only has, I think, one congressman, and he was there for quite a while.
Bernie was in that Black Lives Matter movement before the Black Lives was mattering. Like, he was out there when I'll vote for him just off the strength of the fact that he was out there on the front lines getting arrested in the civil rights movement. He was out there with King. Just even if he's not a good president, quite frankly, I feel like anybody in this room, when Marcus asked who would be a better president, in my mind, I'm thinking me, you, her,
They're all politicians,
him.
though, is my point.
But
Of course.
And so they're all politicians.
They
is my
are,
point.
but no. Trump is not a politician.
Oh, Trump is a total politician.
I don't want to give him that title.
Let's take a moment
Trump is
and
a
look at
businessman.
what Trump has done since 2008 when he started. First, I think 2008, and even before then, 2004, he was testing the waters to see if he could pull off this bullshittery that's going on. As far as saying about the Kenyan, the birth certificate, and all the wild stuff that Trump was doing, he was putting out feelers. He's just, and it's strange enough to say, Barack Obama is the cause of people like Donald Trump. That's very
true. That's very
but
true.
My point is that with Barack being elected in 2008 and re-elected in 2012 with the majorities that he had, it showed the country where the country is not only where the country is, but where the country is going, and that is a existential threat to white people across this country.
Well, they also want to take their country back.
Yep.
And when I hear the phrase "take the country back," I always wonder, take it back from where?
Yes.
You know what I mean?
To slavery.
You know,
Where you taking it back from?
where are we going back to? Like, where were we that you want to go back to? You want to go back to black people and women not being able to vote? You want to go back to white males being the only ones who have access to good jobs? You want to go back to bombing other people's countries because they don't govern the way you want to go? You govern. You want to go back to having certain water fountains that people can drink out of? Like, when we say let's take our country back, or when we say let's make our country great again, what the hell are you talking about? Like, seriously, what the hell are you talking about?
If slaves were on sale at Walmart, those white people would be in line, ready to purchase.
I wouldn't say all of them, but I would say
some, the ones that we are talking about.
But what I would say to that is, Donald Trump is equal parts one of the smartest people / one of the dumbest people I think I've ever seen in public life. He's smart because 20 years ago he said I would run as a Republican because they too stupid to realize that I'm messing with their minds. Like he said that. It's a comment that he made, and it's a quote. And now he's running as a Republican. He's running as a Republican who surveyed the land. Like George Bush screwed up the country so bad that he made it so that the black man could be the president of the United States. And the black man had the white folk so riled up where their indoctrinated racism came to the surface that anybody who's coming out and saying things that are in their thought process, they're going to support. It just happens to be Donald Trump. It could have been Raphael. It could have been Marco. It could have been Kasich. It could have been Chris Christie. It just happened to be Donald Trump. I really feel strongly about that. Now, when we talk about, I do want to go back to the comment about if it came down to Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump, we would support Donald Trump over Hillary Clinton. Now, I don't necessarily agree or disagree with that. Because to be completely frank, to me, that's two tails of the same coin. They both assets to me. And so I'm not happy with either of them.
It's a huge difference.
Talk about it.
Donald Trump, I know he gonna at least call me what he gonna call me to my face and do what he gonna do to me to my face and not try to hide it in some black and white in a policy. Hillary, on the other hand, is gonna try to come to my face, smile and shake my hand, while the other hand is signing a policy to put my behind and my people more into poverty or more into jail. She just sneaky. She ain't honest. I would support Donald Trump just because if he gonna mess my life up, he gonna tell me before he do it. At least I can somewhat prepare. Hillary just too sneaky with it. She got all this money. She got people saying stuff for her. She can't handle when an upset happen, when somebody mess up the program. She not good. Like forget Hillary, man. I just want to just say
between Trump and Clinton,
Boy, I don't like
Trump
that shit.
is the best option.
Man, yes, bro.
Just because and everybody knows he keeps it real.
No, I don't. That's her view. That's not my view.
What's your view?
I feel like he keep
My
it
view is
real.
slightly different, maybe a lot different.
Right.
Just Donald Trump is 69 years old. Mm-hmm. Okay. So
Clinton is about 60.
I don't care about her age, but
Yeah,
for Donald Trump being 69 years old, from my understanding of Trump and all that I know, he is actually very liberal.
Yeah, he is.
And I really do feel for his entire life, being a New York City born and bred, he seems to be very liberal from what I know.
Why is he lying?
Hold on. What I need to do, I talk slow, so just give me a moment before you try to jump down my throat. I'll go as fast as I can. He's being this liberal. He's been here for the black race. He's been here for, I don't want to say he's here for the black race, but he's been here for relative diversity. Relative diversity, I say, for up until this point where he wants to run. And quite frankly, this isn't his first time running. And he has been joked out and he's been embarrassed. But I feel like he wants to be president, not because he wants to run the country. I feel like this is a straight up ego boost situation that he wants to do. Because at the end of the day, yes, this is a rich man who is extremely self-centered and may have some level of narcissistic characteristics here. I feel like when he becomes president, he's going to jump out and be like, ha, did it, busters? You're fired. You're fired.
I said he was going to do it. I
really don't feel like this man wants to be president. And when he gets up to be ahead of the Republican Party, it's hard for me to say that somebody that has been so liberal for 60 some odd years, now all of a sudden is saying, I don't know who the Ku Klux Klan are. Okay, but 9 years ago, you was condemning David Duke. Now you don't know who he is. Because nobody wanted to vote for you before, you had to align yourself with the underdog. You have to say, I'm going to change my party. This is nothing for him but a show. Yeah. He is an entertainer. He's a reality show cuckoo monger. This is who he is. I don't feel like he really wants to
Never
be
heard that one before.
President.
Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. live from the Den Legacy and the radio. First of all, shout out to our sister Michelle K. Michelle K is in the building with us, and we appreciate her
still a fan.
Giving us some love. We also getting some hits in social media from our brother K-Dub is still listening. He said Donald Trump moniker is let's make America great. When was America great? And we definitely hit on that. Hakeem is listening. What did he say? He said Hakeem said FDR was a socialist in name only. Bernie, democratic socialist. None of these cats are nowhere near being a real socialist.
Real socialist.
So I definitely agree with that. Before we move on to the rest of the discussion, I want to take this opportunity to introduce, joining us here in the discussion, you hear my big sister every single week right here on the airways of Ain't No Half Steppin' with Marcus J, the co-host, my big sis, S.Y. Butler. What's up, baby? I can't hear you.
I said, hey.
Somebody messes with the mic. Turning the mics up. There you go. I always give her a nice little intro, and then she got a bad mic. I'm gonna take responsibility on that. That's my fault.
It's Marcus's fault.
Yes, it is. What's up, big sis?
Y'all, he's messing with me again now.
That's what I do.
I ain't gonna go for that mess you did to me last
That's what I do. Deal with it.
But hello.
What's happening, man? You listening? You hear what's going on in here? Bernie Sanders, Donald Trump, Hillary Rodham Clinton, Rafael Cruz. You can tell he is my least favorite of all of them, right? I don't like Ted Cruz. I don't like Ted Cruz at all. Y'all keep turning these mics off. That's the reason why they don't work. You got.
I was saying he's creepy.
Yeah, he's creepy.
Yeah.
He looks like Grandpa
Hey,
Mustard.
that's why.
He looks like Grandpa
What's
Mustard
up,
to me.
Bitsy?
But you listening, man? What you think about all this?
You know what? I've been so out of tune with this year and debates and everything. I think the last thing I saw was Obama's address a few weeks ago.
You know he's not running again, right?
Yeah, I know that.
Okay, just check.
Yeah, he don't want to be
You
the
know
president no more.
I see.
Yeah, he don't want to be the president no more.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm really, I'm not even sure who I'm gonna vote for.
Well, I'm glad that you said
gotta
that.
pick the lesser of all the evils.
Ain't that the truth?
How in Hades do you select the right demon?
You know, I'm glad you brought that up, and let's kind of take that around. Let's kind of take that around the room. Evangel, I want you to jump in here first. When we are looking at the candidates that we have, you got somebody like Ben Carson, who's a black man, and people want to vote for him because he's a black man. We got a black president. Why not? You've got a lot of Latinos that feel pride in Rafael Cruz and Marco Rubio and others. As a black man in this country, I'm looking at the candidates, and I'm not looking at it with racial eyes. I'm looking at it with who's going to be the best one for me and my issues. And I looked at the Republican debates, and not once, did any of them bring up anything that was important to me. Not one, ever. They didn't bring up Black Lives Matter.
You're surprised?
They didn't bring up police brutality. They didn't bring up people being killed in the street by the police. And so what I want to do, I don't want nobody to be, selling their candidate unless you want to. But what I want to do is talk to me, Evangelist. I want you in here first. Why should we even vote? Like, why should we even take the time to go to the polls and put up with this nonsense? So tell me, what's your opinion on that?
This year, because of what you just said, if there was no reason to vote at all for Democrat ticket, if you just didn't know who to vote for, if you do not vote this year, blue, we will get a Donald Trump. You know what I mean? Like, it's that simple this year. Like, the vote is so important because people say, oh, Donald Trump ain't going to do it, but they also are not voting. And for every vote that you don't cast, that's a vote for Donald Trump. So regardless if you like Hillary or Bernie, we need blue. You know what I mean? We need those numbers. We need voter turnout. There is no way that we're going to keep this country blue without voter turnout. And that's just on a simple, basic party lines.
Right.
No candidate lines. We just cannot do any one of the Republicans at all for this country.
Right.
None of them
Right.
speak to, like you said, any issues of working class people, middle class people. Like, I'm black. I'm a veteran. I'm a PhD student. I'm a mother. I'm middle class. You know what I mean? Like, I look at a candidate.
You
that can
check off a
satisfy-
whole lot of damn check marks there.
Yeah, you know, I'm not looking at a candidate because I'm a black woman. Like, no.
That's sad. That if you got all those monikers and you're still middle class. My point is that we have to work extra. First, we have to work extra hard because we're black people. But then, second, in the economy and the world we live in, now that we might have all the letters behind our name and we've served our country, that back then had value, say in the 50s and in the 40s right after World War II. Now it doesn't. You know, we have to, and I was just talking to somebody about this the other day, because it is tax season, and I'm mad as hell that I got to pay taxes. You know, I think we talked about this. Yeah, you know, and I'm seeing people, and I work at a major financial institution, and I'm seeing people getting $7,000, $10,000 back in tax returns, and I'm sitting here working like a rented mule, and I got to pay taxes to the government.
Right.
That makes me, when you're that invested in what comes out of your pocketbook, that makes you more invested in the political process. When you are looking for the government to give you $10K back because, and this is no generalization, we all know the tax people out there, that you got 4 babies, you selling social security numbers and things like that so you can get a leg up on the world. I'm not class warfare, and I'm just saying you're not interested other than who's going to give you more money from the government.
Right. No, I can dig it.
It's okay.
Ain't no how Steppin with Marcus J. Live from the Den, Legacy Internet Radio. We're going to take a break in a minute, but I want to just kind of make this last point before we do that. And we're going to continue this discussion. We're not going away from it. But, Evandra, I want you in here again on this one. Our sister Michelle K. First of all, she says, shout out to you, Grizz.
What's up, Steal a Girl?
Glad to hear you in here. Can't stand either one of y'all because that whack-ass football team. But she also hashtags...
Pittsburgh.
She also hashtags Go Hillary. Now, the reason why I wanted to bring that up is because I got a lot of people that are close to me, personally close to me, who are Hillary Clinton supporters. And me personally, I'm just not a fan of the Clintons. I'm just not. And while it may be unfair to hitch her wagon to Bill, it is what it is. I mean, she used to work for Barry Goldwater. Let's keep it 100 with regards to that. But, and if you don't know what that means, look up Barry Goldwater, and then you'll see why I connect her to him. But when someone says go Hillary, as a woman, don't you want to see a woman president? She's the only woman that's in the...
Fair question.
She's the only woman that's in the... And I say this with no sexist intentions. I say this to play devil's advocate. When you mentioned we want to keep it blue, but you also mentioned if it was Hillary and Donald Trump, you would vote for Donald Trump, who's repping red. Mm-hmm. And so he's a blood, she's a blood, he's a cuz.
It's just one reason. It's out of all the things that are wrong with Hillary, it's still only one reason that I would not, cannot support her.
Shout it out.
It's the fact that she profits off of black bodies being in jail. And I just cannot support a person that's making a profit off of my brothers being locked up in jail.
Tell us what you mean by that.
The prison industrial complex. It's like, people, you got to look this type of stuff up. Hillary Clinton is invested in the prison industrial complex. She gets money from lobbyists with 2 major corporations that says, I need this many bodies in these beds so I can make money. And if these bodies are not in these beds, then they lose profit. Right. And Hillary Clinton is heavily invested in it.
And not only is Hillary Clinton heavily invested in it, but her husband was the one who started all of that with the crime bill of the 90s, which changed the way that you were sentenced.
Let me just finish my point.
No, I got you.
If you can go to sleep at night knowing that this woman puts your fathers and your sons in jail for a profit, and you gonna yell go Hillary, that should just make you want to just throw up in your own mouth, because you just gonna let somebody put your own sisters and brother in jail because she a woman and you need a first woman. This chick been head of state. I mean, how much more she need to go? She don't like her.
Ain't no hashtag.
So official Hillary hating going on
from the Den Legacy and that radio. We're gonna continue. We're gonna definitely continue this point because I like how you almost spazzed, and whatnot. I like when we get people to spaz up in this
She's
joint
not the
because
only
I know
young
because
people.
I've been very close to spazzing in here, but I gotta subdue my passion. So I'm a hang tight and not act too crazy. But we're gonna take a break. But we're getting ready to lose our sister Lyric here before we go to our break. So before we do that, Lyric, first of all, on behalf of the entire crew here at Legacy Internet Radio, first of all, I want to thank you personally as well as a crew for being here. You are real dope. Your music is real dope. You brought an energy and a light to the room that we haven't had in a long time. I want to thank you for being here. I want to make sure that you know that if you've got some things coming up, let me know so we can kind of get you out there and put you on, because quite frankly, I appreciate you coming from Tappahannock to be here, and I want you to feel like the trip that you made was absolutely worth it. So first of all, thank you. One more time, tell us who you are, tell us what you do, so that the listeners, the last thing they hear is from Lyric.
My name is Lyric with a Q at the end, not a C.